So having just talked about holy war in the last one, it's now actually time to think about the concept of a just war, a war that is justified and perhaps right or fair. And to be a just war, it has to meet certain conditions. Now these have been laid down over time by a number of people. Probably one of the most prominent was a guy called Thomas Aquinas, who was around from 1225 to 1274. He was a Christian theologian who proposed a version of the just war theory so Christians could fight in wars. I'm going to use some Latin terms in this. Jus ad bellum, rules which state whether a war it is right to go to war. Jus in bello, rules which define the correct conduct in war. And jus post bellum, rules which state how peace must be established after war. So thinking about the jus ad bellum, so this is before the war, whether it is right to go to it. There must be a just cause for going to war. The injustices suffered by one group must clearly be greater than those of the other group. Only a legitimate authority can start the war. The war must be fought with the right intent. Material gain is not a just purpose, so you couldn't go to war for oil or land or so on and so forth. There must be a reasonable chance of success. Force must be the last resort after all peaceful means and negotiations have failed. And the hoped benefits of the war must be greater than the probable evil and harm that it will cause. The second, just in bello, which define the correct conduct in war. War must only be fought against enemy soldiers, and civilians must be protected. The force should be proportional to the wrong that has been done, and the possible good which may come from the war. And minimum force should be used to limit unnecessary death and destruction. Just post bellum, so this is after the war and how you would establish peace, there should be a just cause to end the war. The wrong that they originally was has been righted and the enemy is ready to negotiate surrender, or the war may have ended and it can't be clear who's actually won. No revenge should be taken. Peace terms should be made and accepted by the legitimate authorities. The victor, so the winner, must ensure that any punishment is limited to the people who are directly responsible for the conflict, and any terms of surrender must be proportional to the original reasons for war. Remember, for it to be considered a just war, all the conditions must be met. Many people would argue that the Second World War, for example, was a just war, taking up arms against Nazi Germany. Some would state that actually some of the conditions, like in the bombing of Dresden, it kind of violated the excessive force thing. But on the whole, people do consider the Second World War to be a just war, and that might be an example that you use